Since just the mere words diversity and inclusion incite a tantrum over at Fox, this year's War on Christmas meltdown over inanimate objects, it came early, thanks to Jesse Waters.
Gay nutcracker, complete with a rainbow hat, a trans flag, full price, $12, but right now it's on sale for $8. Target also sells Santa ornaments, but Target's Santa is in a wheelchair and is black. Gay nutcracker and wheelchair Santa might be the only items in Target that don't get looted.
How dare Target make the Yuletide gay? And having black children and kids in wheelchairs see a Santa that looks like them? What is this country coming to? Well, let's ask the gentler version of a Fox zealot currently running the House of Representatives, House Speaker Mike Johnson. In a Zoom call he participated in just weeks before he was elected Speaker, a Christian nationalist preacher asked him to say more about a, quote, time of judgment for America.
We all know the terrible state that we're in. The faith in our institutions is as low as it's ever been in the history of our nation. The culture is so dark and depraved that it almost seems irredeemable at this point. The church attendance in America dropped below 50% for the first time in our history since they began to measure the data. 1 in 3 teen girls contemplated suicide last year. 1 in 4 high school students identifies as something other than straight. We're losing the country.
Joining me now is Dean Obeidallah, host of the Dean Obeidallah Show on Sirius XM, and Michelangelo Signorilli, host of the Michelangelo Signorilli Show, also on Sirius XM. All of y'all on Sirius XM name your shows after yourselves. My show is called The REIDOUT, so maybe it's just an us thing. Michelangelo Signorilli, you are named after the man who painted the Vatican, so it falls to you to explain what is going on with the gay nutcracker and the black Santa in a wheelchair. How dare you make the Yuletide gay? Why? Why, my friend, why?
They are reacting to everything that's happening in this world that is just threatening them in enormous ways. It's all about their masculinity, and they're freaking out. And we see this, of course, with their fighting on the Senate, hearing rooms and, jabbing each other and everything else. They're freaking out about their masculinity. That's it.
And I do think that is at the core of it, Dean. You had Josh Hawley, of all people, write a book about masculinity, which, he's not the most macho guy that I've ever seen, but he's going to fix it. Tucker Carlson had the thing where they were, putting light on their nether regions and posing like Jesus and stuff. There is, an obsession with the kind of old-time masculinity on the right. Can you understand why that is, and why are they freaking out?
I think part of it is the race component, because it's a black Santa in a wheelchair. Because, see, Joy, around Christmas, the only disabled person could be Tiny Tim. He's white. How dare you replace Tiny Tim with a black man? And they had to go set. Remember, Megyn Kelly did the whole black Santa. They're like, black Santa's been done. Oh, wheelchair. We can mock that. Imagine working at Fox News as a producer. Today you're going to Target. You go look through baskets and boxes of ornaments to find any gay or black thing you can find so we can make fun of it. To me, I don't know if it's a masculinity. I think it's about anything not like them. They don't like it. They're going to mock it. And the worst part is, Joy, their viewers like it. That's what's so sad.
The thing is, their problem is that Santa actually is black. I've actually had him on my show, Black Santa. We'll probably book him again this year. He just is. Sorry, Megan. But on a more serious note, Michelangelo, I think people are not taking Mike Johnson seriously enough, honestly. He has a whole agenda that is a very openly Christian nationalist agenda. And it represents maybe 17% of what people in this country actually want. But he doesn't really care about that. He actually wants to impose it. And he's in a position, he's second, in line to the presidency. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and look, he is somebody who's spent his entire career demonizing homosexuality, and he worked closely with an ex-gay group, one that now apologized for the damage it did because they're so dangerous and harmful to people, and it closed down. he actually worked with this group. He did videos for them. He believes that, homosexuality is depraved, destructive. He believes it's harming people. And, there's a lot been said about why is he so obsessed about this? What is going on with him that he has to work with an ex-gay group? Why does he believe it's a choice? When you say homosexuality is a choice, it's kind of like you made some sort of a choice, because most people don't wake up and think, I'm going to choose to be heterosexual today. Same thing with if you're gay.
Well, and absolutely. And by the way, he is right about the high suicide rates among teenagers. He might want to ask who those teenagers are and why, because a lot of them are people who are LGBTQ, and they are feeling left out in society and demonized by people like him. Let's talk about the Democrats for a minute, Dean. Let me just play a little bit of video here of what happened outside of the Democratic National Committee the other day. A big, huge protest while lawmakers and staff were inside. There is a big rift happening inside of the Democratic Party over what's happening in Gaza. Do you get the sense that Joe Biden and members of Congress get it?
I don't think there's a rift in the Democratic base. The Reuters poll 2 days ago showed nearly 80% of Democrats want a ceasefire. Yet just 2 days ago, only 25 Democratic House members, 10% of the caucus, sent a letter saying they want a ceasefire. So where the rift is between the leadership and the base of our party. And I think as opposed to the GOP, where Republican office holders fear their base, Democrats ignore their base often, or sometimes they're nice to us, but they don't actually listen to us. The callers to my show, including tonight, are outraged at the fact that Democratic leadership is not listening to the base. They want them to be calling for a ceasefire. They see the loss of life by the Palestinians. And as Democrats, we're able to denounce Hamas's terrorist attack and denounce Netanyahu for killing 4,000 children, which is grotesque and barbaric, what we're seeing right now. Yet Democratic leadership, for whatever calculation, they won't do it.
And Joe Biden, Michelangelo, he is hard and fast where he is, and he doesn't seem to be moving no matter what the base of the party says, which in a large part is people of color and young folks, and those are voters he needs. He's
got this foreign policy of like 30 or 40 years ago. He hasn't dropped out of that. He doesn't see what's happening. He really doesn't want to hear what's happening, seeing what a lot of people are saying and what younger people are saying. And it's the same with many of the Democrats on the Hill. The phones are ringing in their offices, overwhelmingly calling for a ceasefire, calling for stopping the violence, and even their staffers are protesting, and yet they're not doing anything to connect with those people and listen to those people and really reflect what they believe.
Yeah, it is a strange place that we are in both of these two parties. Dean Obeidallah and Michelangelo Signorilli, thank you both very much. And up next.